who is a long-standing veteran who has not stopped playing, should not favor Legacy at all, yet it still feels like, for no particular reason, he could do it.
Well, that's exactly right, but Swiper, we did see on Twitter earlier today, was saying that he was feeling pretty amped up for this game. We all know what can happen when Swiper does get on a roll, but Tally's going to have to be playing to his form that we do know and love about the man. We are into this pick and ban, though, as Shen and LeBlanc have been banned away on the side of Legacy. Jack's banned away from Tally already here on the side of the Chiefs.
And that's actually a two-pronged statement, because we looked at Tally and said that, you know, he's out of practice, could be a question mark. CHF G1 is the exact same thing at the moment. He has fantastic highs. He has questionable lows there. So if we can get CHF in form, he can absolutely still take it to what is the most consistently performing mid laner with a 16.7 KDA. Swiffer, absolutely going off right now. But CHF can do it if he shows up.
Yeah, this is the thing that's ridiculous as well, because he lost that Vladimir game, right? Still went 9-2-4. The next game, plays Cassiopeia, goes 8-3-5. This guy's ridiculous at the moment. As Legacy have locked in their first pick. The Karma has come out. Elise, Vladimir, also banned away on the side of the Chiefs. As Jin was the final ban for Legacy. Still a lot of things available, things like the Rise, potentially.
I think the Rek'Sai makes sense here.
Yeah.
As for the second pick in this rotation, they might even look towards a support, knowing that Karma's there. And they could even go back to the Bard, something that we saw in the last series. I think all 3 games. That, and there's also a lot of priority in this middle lane.
Well, yeah, the Azir has been picked up, so Swiffer back on a champion that can do a lot of AoE. It's not necessarily his LeBlanc, which is just all sorts of crazy pick potential, but my god, he can play well in the late game.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked to see a Victor, though, in response.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like that's actually a champion that's been banned from CHF. Instead, we're seeing a Jackson Elise. Now that Tally's back, the drafting becomes a little bit more difficult against Legacy, because he can carry, which needs to be noted.
Well, CHF's thinking about throwing a gauntlet here. Zed just a hover for now. We'll see what Carbon decides to take away. His Elise is still available, of course. Gragas there. Of course, his Graves has always been a favorite. See where he decides to go, or what they decide to lock in here. Will it be sort of jungler and AD carry, that sort of thing? Hide the solo lanes?
The King is also a pretty hard carry, so unless they're giving something like the Ezreal, they would early rotate their middle lane, and knowing that it's also going to be the Ezreal.
Well, looking for a lot of movement speed here, as the Sivir is going to be locked in for King. Has been one of his more aggressive champions, weirdly enough, given the fact that it's a Sivir. We saw Chenny Boy right up and amongst it in our last game.
I think King and the word aggressive just go hand in hand
anyway.
Yeah,
sort of
doesn't
doesn't matter which champion, right?
But yeah, so they've locked in the Sivir Karma comp, and I like that they did go for the Sivir in this rotation, simply that there has nothing been picked on the opposite side of the Rift in that bottom lane. They don't want to give that opportunity over to Rayday. Still, though, he could play something like the Ashe Bard lane and be perfectly fine with that anyway, or Jim can go even more passive.
Yeah, the Ashe Soraka. My god. At least they can slow people down instead of speeding them up. See how the Chiefs are going to be able to utilize this, as they're saving Swiper's pick until last.
That's
to lock in.
The more I think about it, like, I'm okay with Soraka once we get past the laning phase. But think of what a Soraka is going to run into if there's ever a jungle gank. Even a mid lane or top lane rotation with a teleport, and there's a Sivir Karma speeding them up walking towards you. A silence field's not going to help you.
Now Spooks is just going to stand at his turret on very low health, so he can run really fast.
This should be locked in from Legacy, 100%. And with the top lane, they could go for anything they'd like, either a flank or a split pushing option.
Swiper's Trundle is still available if they want it. The Maokai could potentially be a little bit dangerous, but you're right, multiple tanks, dangerous to deal with. That is going to be the Hecarim for Carbon, most likely. He's already got the Ghost, and Rumble being picked up for Tally. It's a lot of AoE magic damage here from Legacy, plus massive AoE physical damage from King.
Yeah, that's really cool from Legacy with the team composition. Mixed damage, lots of forward movement.
Oh,
and they've also got the Rumble, who can place the ult behind or from long distances, maybe cut them off if they force them into choke points, something that Rumble is notoriously good at doing. Is actually looking for objective-based fights with all of the Dragon focus, all of the Baron focus, and the turret taking. There's actually a really big place for Rumble in the meta, especially with the addition of the Hextech Proto Belt.
Precisely. Just makes that Flame Spitter look even more dangerous as well, as now we're waiting for Swiper to make his decision. This team comp from Legacy just looks so frightening with its flexibility more than anything else. They've got wave clear coming out the wazoo. My goodness, this is really scary. And Alawi is going to be locked in from Swiper.
He's been playing a fair bit of this, Big Swip, so
Yep.
I'm not going to say I'm surprised that he's locked in the Alawi. He knows it is against the Rumble. There's no crowd control there. And the forward movement that Swiper's got now in his back pocket. There's a fair bit of damage coming out of the Chiefs as well. This is a heavy-hitting 5v5 for a game 1 in this best of 3.
Most certainly is. And Legacy's comp, I mean, even though it is so versatile, is relatively short range if you don't count the equalizer. So the old Alawi could be able to get some things done. See whether he can get some fights around Dragon Pits, Baron Pits. Really get that leap of faith working out. So, oh man, I haven't casted Alawi yet. I'm so excited.
Do you have the spell names down?
Tentacle Smash and Leap of Faith are about all you need.
Yeah. No, I'll take that. It's absolutely all you need.
Yeah, because the W's named something really, really weird, and it doesn't make sense for just a dash.
Either way, I think it's pretty cool what these teams have put together. Looking at Chiefs in particular and how it is a parallel essentially to that of Legacy. We called the Rumble something that's like an objective control, fight for the dragon. You've got an open area where the Sivir and Karma can push you in. You've got a Hecarim running at them and a Rumble to cut them off with either a teleport flank or just the ultimate. The Chiefs, they're saying, come at me. I'm Alawi. Like, I'm actually just going to press my R key and stand and deliver.
That's exactly right. We'll see whether they can get that one done. Ladies and gentlemen, though, hop on Twitter. If you're part of the Legacy Legion, use that hashtag LGC win. Or if you want to see the Chiefs take another one down, put another notch into that belt that they already own, use that hashtag CHF win. This is the Legend match. This is a big one. Could be a precursor for a whole lot of things to come here as well as we look towards the end of the split. Lots on the table here.
Absolutely. The Chiefs, I will say they've had an easy run coming into this game.
True.
It hasn't been too challenging for them. They've lost one map to AV, who we know can go the distance as a solid team. And for that to be their biggest test coming now against Legacy, they might actually get taken a bit by surprise.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Of course, Legacy already taken on the Direwolves, Hellions, Abyss, AV, and Tainted Minds, but they also went to 3 games against AV and unfortunately fell down to the team. However, this is an AV with that Paradise in the top side of the map. We just saw them against Abyss do fantastic things.
Now we have a look at the Keystone Masteries as well, noting that Tally goes for Death by a touch on Rumble, something that makes sense. As does, I'm forgetting what it's called for Swiper. Grasp of the Undead. There we go. It's actually quite good for him. He's a very sticky champion, wants to be hitting you for prolonged periods of time.
And of course, that W being able to proc it as well, sort of whenever you want to, is pretty handy.
Yeah, one of the other big things is Choo Choo's running teleport. Swiffer is not. He actually has the heal. Now, there's 2 problems with this. Swiffer might actually have more lane control, but the end result is that Choose can teleport and nullify that anyway.
Yeah.
But it also means that if Choose does well in lane, he can teleport and have a presence elsewhere on the map. The downfall to this is that Rayder is Ashe. And last time we saw Rayder play Ashe against Legacy, Choo Choo's didn't have Cleanse, he was playing Anivia. He died a lot.
Yeah. There's also the fact that
Choose.
Yeah, Swiffer pretty good at the old shoot and scoop when it comes to arrows flying up the mid lane.
Yeah, as far as the 2-man draft goes, Ashe to hit, Azir to follow up. It's always pretty cool.
Swiffer dealing with Choo Choo's. Shield comes in, no harassment to follow up, but both of them, it's pretty even keel. There's a couple of extra creeps here at his beck and call.
Well, Swiffer will actually get level 2 off this wave, so watch how Choose starts to immediately back up. That 1 minion will proc it, he can't trade anymore.
Carmen now as well. Getting chased by Ejim. Metallic Soraka starts up the Wolves, telling Carmen move their way towards the bottom side of the map, which means we are in a lane swap, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Kuden coming around behind Swiffer. Does have heal available. Speed up. Not going to be there, of course. Hex core not upgraded, as Kuden just being annoying. And successfully so.
But that was a lot of damage actually pushed out by Kuden. Ejim, on the other side, did push them out of the jungle. But Spooks, he's going to be farming well. And there was really no necessity to invade this time around from Kuden. I like it.
Not bad at all.
Helping win the middle lane is quite important. Once again, momentum from a non-teleport Azir. Ejim just doesn't have health.
Flat out. Swiper just beaten on things. Cannon creep goes missing. Keep whacking on this one.
That's such a cool auto attack animation from the Soraka. It's like her own personal Ashe Q.
Yeah. Shoots. I hope they're little bananas. I really do. This minion wave's not going to arrive in time. And if Ejim gets... Yeah, okay, good.
That's alright though from the Chiefs. They clear the waves pretty quickly, and they will still get this turret. Legacy, of course, we haven't seen their turret's health just yet. But you would imagine that they're doing these about the same pace.
It's actually a really good point as well. Alawi has phenomenal wave clear. Ash has pretty good wave clear. And Azir has incredible wave clear.
My biggest concern is the Chiefs' crowd control just in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Civic Karma Rumble, so they don't have a lot on the other side either. And it could hit a stalemate point where Legacy and Chiefs just look at each other angrily and try and run forward, but the other one just runs away. Like an Azir can run away, a Soraka and Ash can kite back. Legacy can pretty much do the same thing with the Karma Siva. And it could be a question of how do they get into these fights. You'd almost be expecting Swiffer to engage. Carbon can. And honestly, the funny thing about this is their engage is just damage.
Yeah.
Like if Carbon gets an ult off and Tally puts down an equalizer, that's essentially your engage.
I mean, equalizer does slow as well, but you're right. I mean, it's not a lot of hard CC. Apart from, I guess, the fear. See where the Spooks can get things done, and Radiant are going to be pretty essential with this arrow placement. Nice rafting there from Swiffer as he makes his way back into the lane.
Yeah. Choose do a recall, which is why the damage now will start to favor Swiffer, but if you can match a trade at all before you go back, maybe force potion, you'll be slightly more efficient. And he has teleport.
Already, Sand Soldiers getting some work done. Thunderlords yet to come back off cooldown, so Swiffer missing out on a little bit of damage with that trade. However, now Choo Choos will probably just use that TP to get himself back to lane, and Radiant back down towards the bottom side of the map.
But it's being forced back to standard. You will see Siva and Karma arrive here quite quickly. There's no advantage in terms of items, maybe slight levels on the side of the Chiefs, but it's nothing substantial. And now we actually find ourselves with Tally, and to no surprise, in a situation where he might be able to freeze because the minions are moving towards him.
We'll see whether Swiper can get in there and break that one.
The thing is, there's an Infernal Drake, so if Tally tries to freeze, he'll actually lose most of the minions because they might force a teleport to the Drake.
We'll see whether anyone does make a move. You can see there is vision for the Chiefs around that area. They have managed to get in there, get the deep vision. Spooks has been spending a lot of his time doing that this game. Sightstone very early on in his build, in fact before completing any sort of jungle item, apart from that initial machete. The Spooks we know and love, the man that wants to control the map.
Yeah, definitely as Spooks is pathing heavy. Carbon does love a good gank and good fight. But at this point on Hecarim seems quite content with letting the map unfold because the Sightstone rush from Spooks makes it difficult for him.
I like this from Spooks as well, making sure that he's helping Swiper out as he's breaking this freeze. Well, Swiper going to grab himself the soul of Tally. Will beat it to death there at the same time.
Ultimately just a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
Last hitting as Rumble is already hard enough.
Yeah, very true. He's taking a lot of damage from all these tentacles hanging around here as well. The scrap shield just not quite enough. However, freeze is broken. Swiper, we'll see whether he backs away, grabs another couple of items and heads back up to pick up the incoming wave.
And Alawi breaks freezes fantastically well as well. You get the Test of Spirit. Hit that E.
Yeah.
You can just cause problems. Tally, as I said, already struggles to last hit under turret, but because Swiper can push it there so easily, then you'll find that it almost sets himself up for success. And you're right, alluding towards the fact that Spooks was there. Breaks the freeze. It is still a 10 CS advantage though for Tally.
Yeah.
And Swiper recalled, so that grows.
We'll see whether Swiper can get himself into a better position. Swiffer, very early blue buff here, comes in at about 2 minutes and 20. Choose successfully shoves this wave all the way through. A bit quiet in Summoner's Rift right now. A lot of tension here in the air as the Chiefs are ahead by 100 gold or so.
Nothing substantial to be seen.
Nothing at all.
And everybody just a little bit back and forth, of course. Swiper level 6 power spike, same thing as Tally. I would imagine this Infernal Drake once again would be where these teams look.
And it might mean, with the fact that these are such damage-focused engage type compositions from both of these teams, do we feel like the likelihood of a snowball after the first fight could be really high?
Yeah, there's definitely the snowball. I think both teams have the capabilities of kiting and peeling backwards though. So yes, whilst the snowball could be quite severe, I'll say Legacy, the team that needs a snowball, but they've also just conceded over this Drake, looking for the top lane turret because they swapped back.
Yeah, Yeah, are going to be able to grab that. Infernal Drake falls in favor of the Chiefs. Definitely want that, this composition. Lots of AD and AP reliance from a lot of these characters.
So this is cool. They actually chose to sack the Dragon to push the turret and gain a gold advantage. Not only do they break this freeze, they're now diving Swiper.
Yeah, the Equalizer comes down. Has to walk the red carpet here as well, as Spooks is looking to try and re-engage. Nice heal comes in as Ejim chases after Swiper, and they might be able to save this turret. They will. It's on very high health.
Raider also level 6 throws the ultimate. Swiffer's in.
Swiffer, he's going to send King right back. Has to blow the heal as the arrow flies past majestically. Nice double knockup from Spooks, but the Chaos Storm is being eaten by Swiffer. Harpoon's going wide. You can see the Chaos Storm just eating through this team. The Chiefs may actually have to concede. 5 members down. Raider's there.
No, they have a lot of wave clear, and Raider is still full health. As long as Ejim's alive, they can hold this turret. And we just ran into the exact same problem that we expected to see from these teams. Rumble not having the ultimate means that the Chiefs looked for it even with level disadvantages for Swiper. But once they decide they don't want to fight anymore, they just walk away.
And no one's the richer for it either, as both teams extraordinarily close. Swiffer makes his way back to the mid lane. See, 1401. Just ridiculous. Chiefs do have that Infernal Drake though, so probably count them slightly in the lead. But that is nitpicking at best.
Yeah, ever so slightly, simply because they have an objective. But we can also say turrets have been matched out. Everything is back to square one, except for the slight advantages that are expected between these teams. Emphasis on the top lane for Legacy, the AD carry for the Chiefs.
Yeah, that 20 CS leads respectively. That's why things are so even. King picking up an extra 5 gold from the Tentacle as well. And remember, is that going to skew the numbers?
Probably.
Ridiculous. But Carbon poking his head in here towards the bottom side. It's fine. Spooks on the hunt is available from King.
And the Chiefs have actually brought 3 members down here. Carbon and Spooks have been matching each other at every single corner. One, of course, having a sight stone and sitting in his own jungle means that he'll be able to find Carbon walking in. But he's just an able body there to help defend. And it's working out for them because they're keeping it even though the pressure is being applied by the opposite side here of Legacy. Nobody has the other's number at the moment.
You can see Swiper able to clear out this wave very quickly. Has that level 6, so Leap of Faith will be able to come in. Carbon and Tally starting off on this Rift Herald. Spooks is going to come over. What is now in this pit? Chiefs can fight for this potentially as Carbon at half health. Jumps on the Rift Scuttler, actually a pink ward. Got a lot of members around. Choo-Choo's in trouble. First blood goes to Raider, who smacks Choos in the back of the head with a big old ice arrow.
Yeah, so Raider's ult down. Swiffer also used his earlier, and that's how easy it is for the Chiefs. They don't necessarily have the best engage, but when that Ash arrow comes in,
this is something that Raider has been relied on a lot in the past as well, is to land these arrows to start fights.
Tally may need to ult this wave if he wants to get the last hits. We'll see. No, he'll be alright.
Flame of course, getting that buff. Yeah, we've done some work.
Absolutely, but Chiefs get on the board, they get that first blood. We are going to see it again. Of course, it's on the back of Swiffer. The arrow may have missed, unfortunately, from Raider, but it doesn't actually amount to too much.
It was a flash that made the sound.
He made the effort. He had to contribute.
Yeah.
It was Raider. Honestly, stealing that one. Still the exact same thing that you'd expect from this team.
Damn right.
They know when they can push the button. Even if the Ash arrow misses, the rest of the team's communicating it. They know to fight. They pick the numbers advantage. And it was in that middle lane. Getting Swiffer going.
Exactly right. And he's got his Abyssal Scepter now completed as well. Looks to be building towards his Nash's Tooth.
Yeah, which, by the way, he got before any attack speed. Rushing that magic resistance and the magic penetration that it also provides to take out that Victor. It must have a lot of attack speed in his runes.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I also like the fact that he's giving Choos so much respect here as well, because we know Choos has been playing maybe erratically, but still phenomenally on a mechanical level.
Yeah, well, we still said Choos' highs. Definitely able to take it to Swiffer.
Oh, yeah.
We already said was the best mid laner. And right now, he's at the very least ahead in farm. For what it's worth, Legacy That was only 1 kill.
Yeah. Still nothing in this game. 800 gold, 13 minutes. Very little.
They really want this, Rift Herald.
Yeah, they do. 5 members strong.
Chiefs are actually looking for this. Now, Swiper level 8.
Oh my god, the flash leap of faith. Or the leap of faith flash.
Ash
As the arrow
misses.
is going to soar past. Everyone does peel off. Chiefs now in possible trouble here as Swiffer might need to be careful, but they have successfully disengaged. This Rift Herald. Oh my god! What a beast! Eat him with the banana power! That's what happens if you made a medal, Rusty.
And that
the
was
Bionic Lady.
That was a 4v5 to be fair also. Raiders pushing the bottom side at the exact same moment. Nobody gets the Rift Herald buff, but Swiffer hits the Q when it had 16 health remaining and locks it down. They get a turret at the same time, and that gold lead suddenly grows.
Yeah, dude. Chiefs now heading towards Dragon number 2, and it just seems like they take one objective away. Look at that.
Oh, 19 health.
That is ridiculous. And they take the turret in the mid lane, or attempt to get a bit of damage onto it. Now this Ocean Drake is done. It's a beautiful play from the Chiefs so far. Of course, they took the inner turret on the bottom side of the map as Radier doing his Radier thing. Saw some red dots, went after them. The rest of his team fights 4v5 and did so quite effectively.
Yeah, they have the objective advantage now. Gold lead has stretched, but only to a smaller amount. Legacy still able to team fight. It's just a Carbon on this Hecarim hasn't really seen a lot of action. Even when he's tried, he gets chunked out. Spook's even ahead in levels at the moment. This is still looking quite promising for the Chiefs in game number 1. We are only 15 minutes in, but it still feels like the proactivity is in the backhand of our red team.
Yeah, it's true. The Chiefs, no OPL legends at the moment, looking to be controlling things. But are we looking at this Legacy lineup thinking that maybe there's item spites they can get to a little bit earlier than the Chiefs, find timings, and despite this 2,000 gold lead that the Chiefs have, will they find opportunities to get ahead? Because, of course, fighting in choke points, potentially fantastic here for Tally, possibly also Swiper.
They're already past the point of actually having item spikes that the other team could. You have a look down the board. Essence Reaver for Radar is a big advantage that King doesn't possess. That middle lane, the Abyssal Scepter and Berserker Greaves are there, so Swiffer's still large. Even the Spirit Visage for Swiper. Like, they're set up now, and they can hold the fort quite effectively.
We did mention that wave clear as Radier, once again, is farming out on his own. 16 CS in the lead.
And that's only good because he's not at a risk of dying right now. Legacy could actually have been exploiting that. We're looking towards Tally hitting level 11 to me as another Ash Arrow.
Once again, yeah, flies through. Majestic. Still majestic.
Flash by choose.
Yeah.
Which means he has no wave clear present in this middle lane, and the pressure continues.
And everyone right here ready to take this one down. Outer turret will fall very effectively. It is Swiffer that locks that one down. Sun turret erected in its stead. Now Swiper continues to push on the top side, has evened out that CS completely.
Yeah. The Chiefs are actually pulling a Legacy on Legacy. Tally's pushing, Swiper's freezing. This comes down to the control of the map, because if Legacy aren't in a position to even win this 1v1, cause more people to come towards his side of the map, and the Chiefs are able to win the 4v4, this is a big problem.
It certainly is, and Swiper already done with his Spirit Visage as well, which can work out quite nicely against Tally and Choose.
And the map might be slow, but that's because of the decelerated pace of the drafting phase. Honestly, Swiffer wants to scale. Raider's happy in his position. Throwing arrows off cooldowns is essentially what they're doing.
Yeah.
And with that Essence Reaver, it's going to be a low cooldown. And that's the pace of this game. We look at the Ashe's ultimate cooldown and say, can they go? We look at the Sivir and Karma on Legacy's side and say, can they find an opportunity to speed a Ghost Hecarim up and just assassinate somebody with a tank's damage that increases with move speed?
Thing here as well is that Choose is going to be relying on his flash offensively as well, to be honest, as Swiffer looking to try and make his way in onto King. Aggressive Sand Soldier placement as everything's blown in order to keep King alive, apart from his flash and ultimate. So
he
he used his
wasted
heal.
his spell shield instead of the ultimate as well. Actually healed, yeah. Unusual. But nonetheless, that was overextended by Legacy. They don't have the vision to consolidate that fact. Their vision's bottom side of the map, so they seed objectives on the top half. And now they are still banking on that Tally effect.
Thankfully, the horse is able just to canter by unnoticed. Carbon does make it out. He was sort of slightly out of position, but Chiefs didn't know where he was. Now
And
moving over to try and steal this blue.
I think pink wards are actually the most valuable thing in this game at the moment.
Oh, who just got
Chu's got it. Yeah, the second part of his laser picks it up. We're banking on the Ash arrows. He's level 10, not 11. But you can still hit them right now because it's off cooldown. You look at where Raiders standing also. If they decide they want to go mid, he was in Fog of War, so he can throw that. And now they pressure top lane turret. This is very effective map movement from the Chiefs. They are
That's a massive wave.
out-rotating Legacy.
Yeah, Carbon as well now trying to get in here, but King does have wave clear enough to deal with this wave.
And it's frustrating. It's exactly what it is for Legacy. They have wave clear. They're answering the movements. But if every single time Chiefs move, they get a third of the turret's health, they start to grow that gold.
Yeah.
They need to find an engage here, Legacy. They need to pick their battles right.
And also, whenever the Chiefs are moving back through to another turret, they're taking the jungle from Legacy. You can see the small camps all up on the side of the Chiefs, but they don't need them.
They know that Choo-Choo's is alone. Ash arrows out.
Yeah, flies through, hits Choose. There's the Emperor's Divide. I don't think Swiffer even needed it, as Ejin was tanking the turret ingeniously, and this inner will fall down. The Chiefs just happy to tank that one up. Spooks grabs it. Carbon in here. He gets slowed down by the Frost Shot. Chiefs playing this comp very nicely at this stage.
Then at this stage, I'm questioning once again the teleport usage from Choo-Choo's. Why not cleanse? He's a Victor. Victor doesn't die in laning phase. You're actually quite good at diffusing lanes. Play the cleanse, Victor. But here we are.
That dangerous stuff as Swiffer gets a lot of damage onto Carbon. Doesn't quite have his magic resist built up yet. Will be going towards Spectre's Cowl by the looks. Into the Spirit Visage for item number 2, but right now it's just health.
And look at the wards that the Chiefs have on the map. Again, I said pink wards are valuable. I stand by that statement. Swiffer knows he can play this aggressively because they don't have engage. He can just sit back. They have teleport flank wards pretty much everywhere. The Drake is about to be potentially just theirs again.
It's another Ocean Drake there as well. And with the Chiefs' style right now, it's precisely what they want to be taking away.
See, it does this quickly with an Ash. Very quickly.
Yeah. Scary stuff. The Swiper looks to be building towards Death's Dance as item number 2. We'll have that 20% CDR. We'll see whether he builds a Black Cleaver
Arrow's
as well.
up again.
Yeah, arrow flies through. Choose going to be missed. I think they actually expected him to have Flash.
Yeah, well, he's not too far away from it. Either way, didn't flash into it. That would be silly.
I guess that would be a little bit insane. You can't really pick a juke with
But
an Ash
like
arrow.
at this stage, just watch Raiders arrow cooldown. He's almost half up again.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous because he sits there, he's got his 2 items. Even if he's not involved in the fight, he can assist in assassination, where Swiffer can complement the damage on a stun target. They need a Mikhail's on Kuden. That's their only solution now.
You can see Radiant able to shove this one out, but Legacy moving into the topside jungle of the Chiefs, understanding that they don't have an AD carry. Swiffer making his way over. Swiper in a scary position as well. Haven't seen that leap of faith just yet. I really want to.
And finally, the tempo starts to even out for Legacy whilst the Dragon goes down. And there's still a decent-sized gold lead for the Chiefs. The map now comes back to a more even spot.
And you're right, they still do have all of that wave clear. They can slow this game down if they want.
Ash arrow's up again.
Oh, God. Who's going to be the next one? There's Spooks, discovered by Carbon. Just takes himself a tunnel, gets out.
Makes loud, croaky noises.
I am detecting you.
Yeah, Ash is going to be the recipient of the top lane farm. So they keep giving him side lanes, where places where he can clear a wave and then go into Fog of War. Very much Chiefs. Very clean style of gameplay we're seeing from them now. And this is similar to one of the earlier weeks of this split where we saw the Chiefs win with an Ash Soraka. They just choke you out until you submit.
Just looks like there's not a whole lot you can do against it.
And they have Ocean Drakes in their back pocket for the Soraka.
And an Infernal Drake for the, late game insurance.
And look at the next Drake.
Oh, God. The triple Ocean. What does it mean?
It means there's 3 Oceans.
Ooh, Ocean and Wind Drake. Would that be like a Rainbow Drake sort of thing?
Oh.
Or would that be like... Would that be Ocean and Infernal?
I'm thinking like Sea Spray in my head.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, what's light? I guess that's probably fire-ish, because it comes from like...
Carbon.
Yeah, he's going to get knocked up. Lots of damage comes in. There's the arrow to follow up, and it's doing a lot of work, but Carbon Able to keep himself out of it. Ghost has been popped. Looking for a potential re-engage here as well as the Rampage comes over. Tally's in position. This could be Legacy's opportunity as the teleport's coming in. Emperor's Divide's massive in the backline. King getting chunked to high heaven. As you can see, Swiper trying to make things happen. Tally's going to fall on the back end. As you can see, the kiting from Radier really doing work. He didn't even take too much damage, and the Baron now under fire. Ejim Soraka is beautiful as well.
Choose and Tally were the flank for Legacy, but that flank did not actually get an opportunity to get kills. You're right, Ejim Soraka able to heal people up. The kiting from the Chiefs and the Emperor's Divide holds the choke point where the Rumble's ultimate was meant to be their undoing. But it feels like at this point, Legacy are already too far behind to just outright explode anybody, because they've got magic resistance everywhere. Literally every position from the Chiefs is prepared for this.
Just ridiculous. And we almost have... We got the Aegis of the Legion is of course there, but the Locket of the Iron Solari almost done as well. And Ejim going to be able to shield everyone as well as provide that defense. And look at all the vision the Chiefs had. They knew about that flank because still, this deep, aggressive vision that they have on the top side of the map is so prevalent. They've been setting up for objectives incredibly well this game.
It's lit up like a Christmas tree in any area of the map that they want to focus. It's a two-site stone team.
Yeah.
They have a lot of pink wards, though, is the most important detail. They're constantly replacing these. Now the Chiefs. This is a position where the CS values are still well and truly there for Legacy. They look like they're set up to be okay. Only 2 people have died on their team, honestly.
Oh, Tally in so much trouble. Swiper gets the 1v1. He's looking for King now as well, as he did have the ultimate down. And look at this damage. Spooks comes in, big knock-up. Swiper, the raid boss, eventually falls. But good God, that was ridiculous.
And Swiper puts Tally to sleep. Welcome back to the OPL from your injury, but unfortunately he does go down. And what looked like his entire health bar just disappeared at once. Welcome to Malawi.
Jesus.
And just like that, the Chiefs, they don't actually slow down the pace. They continue to push throughout this. You send more than one person to Swiper, you send the rest of the team of the Chiefs down that middle lane. Free inhibitor. Easy picking.
That was beautiful. Swiper now finishes his death stance as well. That's going to be even harder, especially with the Spirit Visage already completed. Remember, tentacle damage does actually heal you back up as well. I know, it is silly. So Spirit Visage even more useful. But with death stance as well.
It means you can't burst him.
Yeah.
And that means basically the team composition that Legacy have can no longer kill him. Except with physical damage where he's about to have armor to prevent it. So the Alawi, pretty big. One of those champions that is best when the team comes at you. And so Swiper being able to just be a source of pressure actually might work out for the Chiefs. You don't have to be a split push threat, but if you stand next to a Baron, next to a Drake, tell the team to, you know, contest it, or force Legacy to run past you, that's where you really shine. This is now 3rd Ocean. I don't even think that Legacy are in a position to want to contest. Hecarim's on the top of the map going for red buff.
Constellation, red buff. Now most
nothing on 3 Oceans.
Yeah.
This is just such a clean game from the Chiefs. As far as a first game in a best-of-3 series goes, this is what we call stamping your foot down.
Yeah. Definitely a dominant performance for now. Legacy, 7,000 gold behind. It is a big number. They still have opportunities. They still have ways to get back in here, but you can see scorelines not exactly going to be heartening for this team. Next Dragon is going to be another Infernal for number 5.
It's the same thing. It's only 1 to 5 in kills, but the turrets that have been taken, the Baron that's been taken, all of the Drakes that have been taken, they're winning this game through objective control. That one strategy is paying off. Even like a 40 CS advantage for King, who's not playing this game poorly. In fact, I would say King's playing this game well.
Yeah.
Just isn't enough.
You can see Swiper now continuing to push things down towards the bottom side. Swiffer on the top. Baron buff is, of course, worn off, but this tower doesn't matter. It is still going to die. The rest of Chiefs backing up their mid laner. Spook's always in position as Kuden looking for a snare, but doesn't find it. And all the while, the mid lane pushing in with the super creeps. Top lane now 4 men strong, and Swiper being a big ol' Alawi on the bottom side of the map.
He's an unkillable force that's just going to hang out in the bottom lane, cause problems, force people to address him as an issue. And if you don't address him, he's going to take the turrets because he has the auto attack reset with that W.
He's already in there. Nice knockup comes in from Spooks as Carbon still wants more. Death Ray does a fair bit of damage and slows down Spooks with the Rylai's, but Choose can't quite get the damage done. Needs that Void Staff, which is coming very soon.
3 Oceans means they can sit here forever.
Look at Spooks' health bar. That is big numbers coming back up.
They can actually sit here forever. Tally, he can't continue to do this. Sooner or later, he'll fold.
Taking a lot of damage. Chaos Storm actually on top of Swiffer and Radiant, but it's not quite doing enough damage as Choose is just going to get caught out. Death Ray's there, does a fair bit to the Azir, and he survives himself.
But the Azir can just stand and deliver because Soraka's going to heal him. Ocean Drakes are going to heal the Soraka. The Chiefs are poking and pushing their luck, though.
Killing Smite prevents Carbon from making his way in. He can retreat back to their Sun Turret.
Swipe is still working that bottom lane. 3 Ocean Drakes will help out with this. They are still getting poked, however. King might be the saving grace of Legacy's base.
They're running out of time. There is a minute to go on the Baron, but that inhibitor will be respawning, and Legacy holding off for the moment, because that's a lot of tentacles.
Yeah.
Big old bunch of them.
You try and chase Swipe, but you're running through the gauntlet.
Damn right you are. Some scary stuff. Arrow picks the gap between the carries of Legacy as now Carbon thinks this might be an opportunity to go in. Sun Turret falling at an inopportune time for the Chiefs as Swiper looking for this. Look at these tentacles going ballistic. Tally going to get slowed down. That is Leap of Faith off cooldown though. Swiper will probably decide to head back now. Tally also his purple suit. So we go back to the fountain.
Yeah, he has to go back to base, and the Chiefs, they don't actually have to commit to that. With the lead that they have, they can hang out. They can play it slow. Work towards the next big objectives, whether it be the next Drake, which is another fire, or the Baron. From the looks of it, and from the obvious attention, given that the Dragon's still a couple minutes away, the Baron is where the vision needs to start. The Chiefs play this how they are right now. They will keep Swiper on the bottom side of the map, have him be that split push threat with Tally having to address him, and just take the Baron. Or Kuden.
Spooks is looking for Kuden right now, but he will probably get snared if he wants to keep going. Decides not to.
Bottom lane's also got Swiffer going in on Tally. That was a flash used.
I believe he was pinged out there as well. So, well, of course, if Tally flashed away from him, probably.
But it's also like it's meant to create a window near the Baron pit where it's a noted 3v5 because Swiffer doesn't have teleport. At most, it would have been a 4v5. But look at Legacy. Their resolve is to actually just walk down the lane. There's no safe areas in their own jungle. Might have Swiffer.
Yeah, they're looking for him here as Spooks is going to get thrown back into the team. Swiffer may need to help his jungler as he flashes out of the way of Carbon. Nice gravity field onto Spooks. The wish comes down. Spooks, oh my god, somehow still survives. The Emperor's Divide is going to be there. Kuden. Yeah, they're looking for it as Kuden takes a lot of damage. Oh my god, Radiant just explodes Shoes. And now they're on the hunt. Of course, in the meantime, Swiper takes down the inhibitor turret on the bottom side of the map, and he's now looking for Tally and an inhib himself. Radiant really taking the bull by the horns here.
2 levels above Tally right now is Swiper. There's a banner of command minion helping him out. This will 100% be an inhibitor if Legacy don't respond.
There's the Leap of Faith flash coming in as Swiper setting himself up. 2 seconds on that cooldown of the W. This inhibitor will fall. They run straight through the mid lane. And that inhibitor is going to go down at the same time. So doubles here for the Chiefs. Now they're looking for either a 3rd inhibitor or a Baron buff. Swiffer struggling. Know exactly where to go to get out of here.
He's hanging in the base. Yeah, he'll be all right though.
Drifts his way up.
And now they look towards the 3rd and final inhibitor.
Oh my goodness. There's the equalizer. Decently placed there as well into Radiant and Swiffer as Carbon thinks he may have caught out of position the AD carry, but the exhaust goes down. And he's getting permanently healed from Ejim, who has great positioning. Swiper now, right in the front line, in trouble as Kuden's going to fall very low. Swiper, how is he still alive? He's going to fall as King takes the damage, but has Legacy lost too much? Shutdown comes in on Radiant. It's an even trade for Legacy at this end of the game.
But even's not going to be even. There's still 2 minions with inhibitors down, pushing. Swiffer's going.
Oh, Choose in trouble, gets chopped down by Sand Soldiers. As the Chiefs get rid of the last inhibitor turret. Tally and King still with a fair bit of damage, but their base is in shambles.
They push them away for now, and that is only the 1 inhibitor standing. What the Chiefs can do Maybe wait for Swiper. If they really want to, they can wait for Radar as well. And just take that Baron buff. The Infernal Drake's also standing. If they want to do something that's fun before the Baron needs to be taken.
Yeah, that's true. Bit of recreational activity, taking dragons. The Chiefs decide, nope, it's not about that. It's about killing the big purple worm.
And they will be able to take this one down. Azir's damage compensates for the lack of AD carry. Whilst that was a scrying orb, you can see nobody's really nearby enough to be there in time. Unless, nope, Telly doesn't have ult.
Yeah, Equalizer's not going to be there. Another scrying orb comes in, so the Baron is going to fall down, and tunnel can be used. Swiffer just going to do a bit of a zigzag, gets himself over the wall, and Empowered Recall will get the rest of the Chiefs back to base. So despite going even in that trade as far as the fight was concerned, still a definite win for the Chiefs.
Well, when you're inside your own base, even's never really even. And the pressure that they already had before the fight had an even trade for kills was already 2 inhibitors. This should actually just be the last nail in that coffin. This being taken down, 16% increase AP and AD.
Yeah.
And that AP on an Azir.
With a Rabbidan's death cap.
Yeah.
Good God.
Man is huge.
Very, very large.
Carbon actually caught.
Yeah, Arrow is going to land as well. Half health already. Has to use the Onslaught of Shadows to get to safety. It's good news. Spooks goes for a bit of a ride on the gravity field. He's already back to full health again. Does have that Spirit Visage. Can eat that red bar.
And from here with the Baron buff, the Ocean Drake, and again, all of the tools that they need, it's not even about engaging. It's about taking out that last inhibitor and watching as the minions help them end the game. Legacy have to have a last-ditch effort fight. They need to hit the Rumble ult, and King needs to do work.
Well, their waves are in a decent position right now. Legacy on a bit of a clock here as the Chiefs are just setting up, still getting lots of damage down. You see they just pick off a target with that E from Swiper. Slow one person down. Can't really do anything in this fight as the Banner of Command minion still doing work. 3 inhibitors down. They're just going to push super creeps and suffocate Legacy like they honestly have been doing all game.
Yeah, they've got the chokehold now. They're just waiting for Legacy to tap the mat.
Oh, King got caught out with that one. Equalizer goes down, but everyone just wanders out of it casually. Spooks now just taking damage for fun. As
Tally's
the arrow
out.
flies in, hits Tally. Massive damage from the Sand Soldiers as Choose has to flash, the Spooks is right on him. Massive Chaos Storm onto the Rek'Sai, but it's not exactly the priority as Swiper is so big. Massive double kill. As now he's just throwing tentacles across this Legacy squad. Oh my God, the Alawi damage. As the Nexus is now exposed and the Chiefs looking to solidify game number 1 very convincingly.
2 Barons, 5 Drakes, complete control of that game from start to finish. And that was the Chiefs pretty much from that first minute saying that they're going to play it clean, they're going to play it slow. And they absolutely just choked him out.
Yeah, it was just suffocation. And did that all come from sort of vision around objectives? Is that where the style was? Because I just didn't see Legacy having a way in after about 15 minutes.
They drafted themselves to exploit Choo-Choos who didn't have a cleanse, and that's exactly what they did. Very strong reactive movement.
Yeah, just ridiculous. But we are going to throw it to the analyst desk to break down that game.
Thanks so much, Atlas. And with that, it is the Chiefs going up 1-0 over Legacy, and we kind of echoed the sentiments here at the desk. Chiefs, with their last pick, kind of stifled all the engage that Legacy had. You can't really jump onto an Alawi comp, and with that, it just meant that the Chiefs picked them apart piece by piece.
Likewise, in tandem with the Soraka, it was a kite back composition with a very heavy engage with Radier's arrow, which Radier hit one. It was the one that mattered. So good attempt there. But yeah, it's just if Hecarim ever goes in on that, and even though we never really saw that scenario just because Swiper was constantly playing in the back or in a side lane, it's because knowing he always had the TP that he could always join that fight, that Carbon was unwilling to pull the trigger.
It was still such a clinical game coming out from the Chiefs side. Honestly, don't think Legacy even tested them coming into game number 1 here. They just played their style of League of Legends, and Legacy had no response.
All right, cool. So we say that all the time. Chiefs played their style of League of Legends. What was it about this game? Was it, Spooks' jungle pathing? Was it the 4-1? Was it the draft? Like, are we worshipping Jish now? Like, what exactly happened here?
So I've been really hard on Spooks for a long time. Like all last split, I was like, Carbon's best jungler at OS. He's styling on everyone. This was on Legacy's big high rise. I'm going to take it back. Sorry, Carbon. Spooks, you are the greatest jungler in OS right now, and it's his pathing. So if you just kind of watch where Carbon goes, he's kind of getting run around. He's pathing to gank his lanes or to protect his lanes or to kind of set up plays. Spooks is pathing for tempo. He's watching and paying attention to the movements that his side waves are doing and not just necessarily where his players are. And it's kind of this picking apart quadrants, moving to the next quadrant. He empties out one side of his jungle, then he flows into the next side, and he's never kind of out of position where Carbon was being run around a lot. And it just opens up so many more micro plays for the Chiefs where they're challenging things like a blue buff. He goes in ahead of time, he sets down his wards for that. He then makes his back, he gets Swift for pushing his wave, and then they immediately go over and they can test the blue buff. It's small things like this.
He also protects the plays that are made by the rest of his team. Like when Swiper's pushing top lane, Spooks is there to protect him. If they're going for a pick mid lane with the Ash arrow, he's there to follow up as well. And when they go for an objective pick up like the Dragons, he's make sure he's there on time as well.
That's actually a perfect example. So we saw really early on where both teams played the early game very well, both Legacy and Chiefs, that Legacy actually had a freeze, deep freeze on both sides. So their Swiper and Radiant and Ejim couldn't be overextended without being under pressure under Carbon, and it was an Infernal Drake. So normally you say, okay, well, Legacy have a deep freeze, why don't Chiefs just go to the Dragon? Well, Infernal Drake does so much damage, and it was so early in the game that it would be massively dangerous to do that, especially if you don't know where Carbon is. So what Spooks does is that Bryce and Radier and Ejim pull back, they start doing Gromp because they can't be overextended in the lane. And then he immediately starts pathing towards the top side to give Swiper the ability to extend farther in his lane, shadowing underneath him. And it allows the team to kind of reset by getting that wave into the tower. But it was like Spook's security in his pathing that allowed Chiefs to reverse that play.
So the shot calling of Spooks does come through, and the Chiefs are able to pick up game number 1. But don't worry, guys. I have a feeling the Legacy are going to want to hit back and pretty hard. After the break in 3.5 minutes, we'll have game number 2 between Legacy and the Chiefs.